Hello and welcome to BUZ Banter. I'm Das Hat.
And I'm Sam.
And today we come to you with... God, why is it always video gaming with the two of us?
It's because I'm the only one who gives us news. And there's always something in the news. Video games.
That's very true. It's actually been quite a busy second half of the year. Today we're actually talking about the Wii U. And with its release coming up in the coming months.
In the coming month.
Yeah.
November 18th.
Hooray! Another console to buy.
It's been quite a number of years.
People
are really chomping to get this.
They really are, but well, I have my concerns about this. Now, let's start things off. I just want to get this out of the way right away. I do own a Nintendo Wii, and I own a single game for it, and that's Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Because everything else that I rented and played for a little while, I couldn't get into enough that I wanted to keep it. Like, No More Heroes was a fine game, don't get me wrong on that, but not my kind of game. That's really the only reason I don't have it. But it's not something... Like, the Wii wasn't really something for sort of the more hardcore gaming market.
No, it's for, like, Nintendo fanboys and the more casual market.
And as much as they're saying that the Wii U is for more of a hardcore base, the number of gimmicks that are involved in it, I don't think it's going to translate over.
Well, they're trying to desperately, simply because they have the Pro Controller, not just the tablet controller, but they're trying to sell the Pro Controller as well. This is the thing, though, like, and this was talked about in another podcast, who may or may not know which podcast this is. I'm not going to mention it.
No, mention it. We should...
Oh, it's the GameStop one. It's Quoted for Truth.
Quoted for Truth. There you go.
Quoted for Truth. They were talking about this. The latest episode, really. And Ryan Davis from Giant Bomb was a guest appearance. Very, very loud gentleman. But he was, he brought up some really good points, and we always bring up the business point, like the selling point of this.
Yeah.
And we even brought this up earlier, and that's the Wii U. People have been waiting for a new system for a long time, because the last few years, especially the Wii has stagnated. I mean, maybe not for you, but even for the people who bought that system, it stagnated. They needed something new.
Yeah.
And the best thing is with this year is, like, people really need something to, like, buy. When they hear a new console, that's easy for, like, the grandmother, the mother, the dad to easily go out and buy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's maybe not, it's fairly, it's like it's $2.99, I think, on its cheapest system.
Yeah, the cheapest system is $2.99.
And that's 4 gigs.
That's 4 gigabytes internal memory. Then you have one of the tablet controllers, and I think that's it. It's whatever game is packaged with that.
And then there's the bigger version, which is the 8 gigabyte black one. Yeah. It comes with Nintendo Land, a controller, and the charging dock.
Yeah, and again, only the single tablet controller. Now, this is the thing that was the huge selling point for the Wii U. Initial reports, a lot of people, and even the podcast mentioned this, that a lot of people thought that it was just the tablet controller itself, that was the Wii U, and it was just an add-on to the Nintendo Wii system.
This is MSN who did this. They literally had a featurette on that.
Yeah.
And they got everything wrong. The other thing is people think you can take this tablet, like, and they think you can take this tablet, like, outside. I'm like, this thing has a range.
Yeah.
You can't separate it from the system. There is a system there.
Yeah, it does run off the system. The initial want to be able to shift over your game from the TV onto the tablet and everything, it only happens within the range of the system because the game is on the system, not
Keep in mind,
on the
it's
tablet.
A long range. You could probably go upstairs in your house, but...
Maybe, in all honesty, it's a nice idea, and you know that people are going to jailbreak that tablet and just get it as a tablet.
Probably.
Just, like, wipe the memory on it and install whatever firmware and everything they want on it. What really shocked a lot of people was the price for extra tablet controllers. And I think they're retailing at something like $150.
$150, $170, I think, depending.
Yeah, it's somewhere within that range. We've been hearing kind of weird reports. We've been hearing conflicting reports on exactly what the price on that's going to be. To which I say, it's a tablet. Like, yes, it's tethered to the system and everything, but it is a tablet.
Yeah, but at least other tablets I can go outside with them.
But you'll be able to do that with this one as soon as they jailbreak it, which you know they're going to do.
Yeah, but to that doesn't matter. What does matter is, there's other things with the Wii U. There's also the launch lineup where everyone is kind of complaining about it, and mainly because most of them are ports. And now, the one thing I've seen is, in general, that kind of happens most of the time with Wii games. Like,
just from
in like 20 years, Nintendo has not had a strong first-party support.
No, they haven't.
Their strongest strongest third-party support, not first-party. First-party's all they got.
Yeah.
Sorry, their biggest third-party game is Bayonetta 2, which isn't a launch game. That's like a next-year game.
Well, it's not a launch game, and there's two issues that the North American consumer at least is having with their launch. That is, first of all, the system is region locked, they've confirmed it, and whatever you want to say about hatred towards the gamers is a very smart business idea, because it keeps the money in-house and it makes it so that the consumer has to pay what you want them to pay, number one. Number two, the launch titles within Japan, they have a lot more of them. And they're a lot more dynamic in terms of their technical aspect. Japan is the only one that has launch title games that make use of more than one tablet controller. Like, you can use another tablet controller on the launch titles for the North American release. However, the tablet itself is not up for sale at launch separately. And if you do use a separate tablet system, you're using it as a regular controller. You don't actually have the full... like, your first player controller with the tablet is going to have full features of the tablet and the controls that they have, and you're just using a regular handheld controller. Whereas Japan, it's got full functionality across both of the tablets.
Well, that also kind of goes to the Japanese gamer in general, and we're going to talk about the Japanese gamer. The Japanese gamer has way more loyalty to Nintendo and Sony, their two main systems, than I think any other gamer around the world.
Well, if you take a look at the games that sell well in Japan, they're either highly stylized or technically brilliant. And that's really what they kind of go
Well,
towards.
it's not even just that. It's like, literally, you could give them anything. Like, they don't care. Like, not just Mario sells here. Like, Mario sells here and does well. Mario sells there and will do billions.
Yeah, it's just crack. But at the
it literally is.
But at the same time, that is much the same way that the North American consumer goes after the AAA titles.
Well,
like, if you just announce another Call of Duty game, if we said right now, we've got breaking news, Call of Duty 6, and people will literally just foam at the mouth.
I will tell you this, for the Western gamer, it comes down to a reason. The reason why people foam at Call of Duty is because gaming leagues.
Yeah.
People do gaming leagues.
Yeah, and it's really just a difference within the consumer market.
There's different reasons, but...
there's various different reasons. We're not going to go into the psychology of it, mostly because and it's also May's department. She's a psychologist here.
The other thing was, just like we were talking about the launch lineup, like I said, all of them are ports. Some of them are terrible ports, some of them are brilliant ports.
Yeah.
The terrible one, I'd have to say, would have to be like Mass Effect, where you don't get the other two games, and literally a week beforehand, I think it's November 6th, that it comes out, they're releasing the Mass Effect Definitive Collection, where you get all three games on the Xbox and PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
And the first one's being... the first game's finally released for the freaking PlayStation.
Yeah.
So now it's officially, there is no version of that game that is completely Xbox anymore.
Yeah, well, which was going to happen eventually, but...
it took longer than I thought.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Aside from that, other concerns for the Wii U, the tablet, like... Their casual market is what's going to drive the system, because that is where the loyalty is, especially in North America. The hardcore gamer base, well, here's the problem with creating a hardcore base with this system. You remember when they first started to try to have multi-platform releases on the Wii, PlayStation 3, and Xbox? before motion control got onto the
Yeah,
PlayStation
the Wii was
3.
always like the bastardized version, essentially.
It was a bastardized version because you were essentially building an entirely other game. Force Unleashed is a perfect example of this. Force Unleashed for the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 is a very fun game. They got the controls right, it's nice, it's tight, and all that fun stuff. It's got a couple of issues, but what game
We're
doesn't?
talking about one, by the way.
Yeah, we're talking about the first one. The second one doesn't exist. The Wii version, however, because they needed to integrate motion controls, and their control scheme was already so, well, I don't want to say revolutionary, but revolutionary for a Star Wars game, with regards to the PlayStation 3 and the 360, they had to do that all over again.
Yeah.
Well, on the system. It's literally almost a third of your design process that you need to do twice, because this other system that you want to port to has these other functions that you need to address.
It's not even just that. I think Prince of Persia literally, because it was so different, they literally called it a different title.
Yes.
I forget which Prince of Persia. I don't know if it was the second or third one.
I
think it was the third one.
The Two Thrones.
Or no, maybe it was after. It was the fourth one, Forgotten Sands, and
Yeah.
they literally called it something else on the Wii.
Yeah, it was called something else on the Wii, but I've never been a Prince of Persia fan, so it's...
I like Prince of Persia, but anyways. They have about 23 games coming out, some first party. The only one I've seen is the most stagnant game they have is probably going to be their biggest seller, which is New Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is same as Super Mario 3D Land, and same as Super Mario Bros. Wii. This is Wii U.
Yeah.
This is just like something new.
And then you're going to have the next Mario Party game, but that's an issue with
Mario.
But that's an issue with Nintendo in general, not just the Wii U. But in terms of third-party support, you're still introducing more and more stuff that the other systems don't have, and you make it more and more difficult for third parties to come over to you and do multi-platform.
It might have gotten a little bit easier because, the only ones we've really seen do it are usually ports. They're going to get Arkham City, they're getting Mass Effect, they're getting Call of Duty Black Ops 2,
which the problem is though. You know those are going to be bastardized versions. Like, the older games that they're finally releasing, they are probably well fleshed out ports. But something like Black Ops 2, when that comes out, again, you have to address motion control, you have to address the tablet, you need to address touch functionality, and it adds more to the development process for just one system.
From what I've seen from that is essentially all they've really done is they kind of phoned it in.
With the mini-map?
Yeah, it's just the mini-map. And you literally, because the tablet has the dual sticks and the shoulder buttons, you can literally just do whatever like you would normally. It's just the freaking controller's heavy. And I think you can use the Pro Controller.
You can definitely use the Pro Controller and everything, but my problem with that is that I was promised control screens like that make sense with the Wii. And I didn't get that. I said it on the show before. When the last Metroid game came out, you're running around and you're sort of weird 2D, 3D scape, and then when you go into first person like you were in Metroid Prime to shoot things, you suddenly lose the ability to move around. Well, I'm using the nunchuck and the Wiimote, why can't I move around with the joystick? It serves no purpose in this mode. It's just an empty portion of the controller while I'm aiming and shooting.
Well,
if I could run around with this would be an amazing game.
But that's like I said, that's the Wii, and that was the Wii Motion controller. This is the actual, you actually have dual sticks, you have to have controls.
Well, you do have dual sticks with this one, but again, you're making the assumption that they're thinking along your lines. And that was the problem that I had with the Wii, and I can promise you that it's going to be a problem that we're going to have here.
Well, we'll see.
We will see. So, November 18th, the only new console for the Christmas.
Sony does have a new version of their console. That's pretty much the only competition.
And it will put up at least a token force of competition.
Microsoft is the only one with 0 things.
Well, considering how much of a head start that they had with the 360, they can take the punch to the gut.
Yeah.
And especially considering that they're launching when they're launching Halo 4, they'll do fine. But yeah, so look for it this November. Look for it under your Christmas trees and your Hanukkah candelabra things. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be insensitive. Yeah, we'll talk more about the system once we actually get our hands on it and actually see what it's like. I know I'm going to have to pick it up just for the next Smash Brothers game. It hurts me inside, but I'm waiting to see Mega Man on that game.
I want Pikmin.
Pikmin's already there. Oh, okay. You're
Pikmin
talking about the
3.
Pikmin game. Yeah, you're talking about the game. All right.
I want Pikmin 3.
It's gonna be fun. I will admit that. I'll try that one out. But yeah, until then, and until our next episode, which probably won't be at the same time, I'm Pat.
I'm Sam.
And we will see you when we see you.